Well, welcome back to Brush. Rob Hastings and Dave Eric stepping in here. Thanks a lot, Dave. It's great to have you here.
I appreciate you asking me. I
just
love
want
it.
to sit here and listen to you. It's great.
That's nice of you. I enjoy listening to you too. This is just, it's fun to come to these matches, you know. Come over here. They had some warm bag of popcorn, and it's just a good place to be tonight.
It is. It's been fun watching the kids. I get must be getting older. Sometimes I get tongue-tied on what I want to say. these tough duels, you know. Papers are flying and everything. Dave and I are going each way trying to help.
Well, you know, the Diggers gave Valley a heck of a duel there. You know, there was a match there we probably should have won. I used to look back and at the end of the night and go home and think, well, you know what, we did all right. We didn't lose any that we were supposed to win, and we stole a couple of them. But I think tonight, I think we probably won the matches we were supposed to, but we probably should have. You know, Wyatt Fowl should have been able to get away with that one, because I'm not sure he didn't get the back points he needed at the end of that third period, because he had that kid tilted for a long time, and they were moving around a lot, but Ernst said he only counted 4. He said he didn't get to that 5 count. It's just hard to believe. I thought he had the 3 back points. That match should have been over and probably not even got into overtime.
Well,
But, you know, he's a good official. He made the call the way he needed to, and in the long run, getting ready for the state finals, when Fowl wrestles him, he's going to know that kid's got that little tilt, and he's going to know better than to fall into that, and that's going to help him, because that's how that kid scored 5 of his points, with that cheap tilt. Fowl came out of that, got the reversal, and put him on his back with a roll-through tilt. That tilt that Chad Romero used all those years, and I'm sure something he taught him last year. So he came through, and it was a legitimate deal. It wasn't a trick move. So I guess if you want to compare notes, the Valley kid won with a sort of a gimmick, and Fowl was in the match with good, solid, basic wrestling. And I'd take that any day of the week.
It is. Well, we started off at 106. Brian Quintana didn't show up to practice last night, or was sick or whatever, but his opponent was Daniel Matthews, but ranked number 7 in the state's Tori Bean, so I'm not sure what that was about. But maybe Tori wasn't here either. But we'll give Matthews from Valley the 6 points at 106, and Caleb Cox with a good battle with, excuse me, number 10 ranked Noah Damien, and he pulls that one out 4-3. Colin Cole at 120 going against 10th ranked Javier Gonzalez. Colin ranked 12th, and it was Gonzalez with a 12-8 victory. And that's another one that could have gone either way.
Yeah, I just gave 3 firemen's carries in that match. 2 of them for back points was the difference. So, but you know, I really think Colin can get that kid. He's gonna have to remember that the arm that kid shoots that fireman's carry with. You can tell that kid live or dies with it, because he shot it so quickly and so smoothly. That's what he's looking for. Next time he wrestles him, he's gonna have to come out with his elbow down. He's not gonna be able to reach.
Yep. Well, let's see. Did I get my roster back from you?
First for the Sterling Tigers, 106-pound weight class, Jeremiah De Leon. 113-pound weight class.
It's here somewhere. We lose our papers once in a while.
Jacob Breidenbach. 145-pound.
It's not on it.
Trayvon Walton.
Oh, that looks like somebody else's writing there.
Taylor Levy.
It's on the backside. Where'd it go? Sorry, folks. Oh, there's
Pete Green. And in the 195-pound weight class, Drew Book.
Well, I guess I'll have to build a new one. That one disappeared on me.
Well, at any rate, we got the Diggers and the Sterling Tigers they're shaking hands and getting the introductions taken care of. And Paul Acosta, the announcers, throwing people out there. It looks like Sterling's going to forfeit quite a few weights tonight.
Okay, because we don't have anybody for Brian Quintana. He's not there. No wrestler for Sterling. Excuse me. One of these says Sterling here. We'll have Jeremiah De Leon picking up the win.
Wow.
170-pound weight class.
We're watching about 6 forfeits in a row. Sterling must be a little sick. I know they had a lot of illness go through their school this week.
That's what I was talking to Chad earlier, and he said they were really sick in a lot of spots. And hope they don't bring it, give it to us. We're all sick for regionals.
That's scary. That's a scary thing about wrestling teams that are feeling that way. You know, Chad Duncan's kid's wrestling up at Western State.
Is he?
Yep, he's not on the varsity. He's redshirting this year, but getting to work out with the number 3 ranked guy in the nation on a daily basis, Ronnie Wardley. So Chad Duncan's son's getting a lot of great experience up there. It's going to be a legitimate contender next year.
Is there another one of those beat digger ones here? Okay. Sorry about that. Is this in yours?
Nope.
Yeah,
this is mine.
Oh, okay. This is mine.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Found it.
Okay, we found it. We said start with Caleb Cox against Zach Loft.
So this is going to be a pretty short duel.
Oswaldo Nunez picking up forfeits. 132, Ricky Breidenbach will take on, Jacob Breidenbach will take on Ricky Mendez. Wyatt Holdren will get a forfeit. Jade Queen will go against Trayvon Walton at 152. Wyatt Fowl will take on Tyler Debbie. Jaron Peterson, no opponent. Nick Wellen will take on Dylan Pirelli, and Thomas Metlin Tate Green at 182, and Josiah Fuentes against Drew Book. Okay. Got Caleb out there. I almost said Chad. I didn't start broadcasting when Chad was wrestling, but we started watching a lot. They circle. Still nobody's really tied up there. Let's get this cheat sheet out. Little shot by Caleb. Re-shot by Loft. And come back facing each other. He's still circling. And Cox taps the mat. Now he goes ear to ear. Loft goes to a knee, but they finally tie up over towards the far side, towards the Sterling bench. There's Cox with his shot, but Loft's kind of working that edge. Sterling in that silver singlet with a big S on the right hip. Cox in that traditional beat digger maroon with stripes, gold trim, beat diggers along the side, and BHS on the back, or brush on the back. Shot by Cox. Okay, break out of that. Little feint of a shot by Loft. Loft's short and stocky. Caleb's not very tall, but I think he's taller than Loft.
Yeah, Loft looks really strong. He's explosive, you know. He does a lot of hand snaps and touches, and he stays on Cox's head, and it keeps Cox away from not able to take the shot. But Cox doesn't wrestle with a lot of urgency either. He's got to take shots. When you're the number 1 guy like he is, and he's one of the top in the state, he's got to be aggressive on his feet and put people away in the first period.
A little cautious coming off that injury, but wasn't ranked last week, which was kind of fell off because he's not wrestled for a few weeks. And we'll take Cox stick down here as we start the second period. No score. They kind of face away from us as we're at Matt's side here at the Digger Dome. And Loft working from the right side, trying that little spiral ride. And tries to throw a leg in there on the right side. Cox stands up, trying to work for wrist control. He's got the wrist, trying to break away, and now run away. Loft drops low down on an ankle. So Caleb will reach by and hook the shoulder. Loft down there on the single leg. And he's hanging on for dear life, goes to double leg, and he'll be clear over the far side and be out of bounds.
Yeah, probably should have been a stall call because he stayed down there for 15 seconds down on his legs, never came up.
Okay, Lofton on the right side. Quick stand up. Cox peels away and gets the escape. 1-0 lead. Our first match of this duel was Sterling. His circle still not a lot of engagement. They're both really cautious now. Cox put both hands on the mat. Right in the 10-foot circle with Cox circling.
Sterling has a lot different style, boy. They stay in the middle and wrestle right with you.
There's a shot by Cox and a reshot by Loft, and they break apart. Cox give him a head tap. Now they go ear to ear. It's the first real tie-up we've had. Both down on their knees. Let's stay ear to ear. Loft feints the swipe there, but Cox keeps him tied up. 20 seconds left there in the second period. Be nice to get a takedown for the Beat Diggers.
Yeah, I'd pretty much put it away if you could get up by 3. It's going to run out of time.
Down about 5 seconds to go. There's Cox gets tied up again. He's going to try to pop by and get behind him. It'll be tight. We'll go to the third period. It'll be Loft's choice. He's going to take down.
Cox is going to have to ride him here, or else he's going to have to cut him and take him down. That ankle pick's there.
Cox in on the left side. Good, nice hard side drag. Works that near left wrist. Loft kind of bunching up in a ball under him there. Gets up to his feet, peels away, and gets the escape to tie it up.
Now Loft's really coming after him.
Well, Loft, they go into that tie-up again. End up back on their knees, going ear to ear. They come to their feet. Cox backs away. Loft act a little like he's going to be more aggressive. Feints. Now they come back forehead to forehead. We're only at 113 pounds. Little arm throw by attempt by Loft, but Cox stays in front of him. Pushes Loft to the edge, and they'll drive him out of bounds.
You can tell Caleb is breathing a little hard here. He's working up, getting his mat time back.
I'm sure he was working hard the whole time he was off, but it's still not the same as wrestling.
No, especially when you get off a big match like he just finished.
Oh, no, he just got caught in the fireman's trying to work out of that, and Loft has the takedown and the lead by 2. And gave up a 1 count, and Cox has put him in a little bit of a kind of a spladle-looking thing, and there's the pin. Oh, what do you call that, Dave?
You know, he just spladled him is what happened. The kid got the takedown with the fireman's, but the whole time everybody thought Cox was just fighting off his back, but instead he was working to hook his leg on the inside. He was able to pull his knee up to his chest and then just rolled him through really quick for the pin. And you know, that was a big win for Caleb, but I know he's probably not very happy with that. That's not the way he wanted to do it.
Yeah, 316 pin for Caleb Cox. Ooh.
You know, like
Coming
you were
from
saying,
behind.
yeah, having sitting out all that time, that's valuable for him. You know, to be in pressure like that. He could have went to his back, give up those back points, but he kept wrestling there. That's some of that funk action where these kids are starting to roll through and tie guys' legs and all this crazy stuff, and it paid off for him right there.
Okay, the Beat Diggers now up 18-0 as you go to Ricky Mendez. And Breidenbach's, thought I had him in the rankings here.
So Mendez got a couple of tough matches tonight. Breidenbach's a real strong kid from a big, long family of wrestling down there out of the Caliche area.
Caliche's put together some good wrestlers. Oh, nice little shot by Mendez. But go ahead, Dave.
You betcha. So Breidenbach works that underhook. It's in the middle of the mat. They're both wrestling right in the middle. I love this when guys just go toe-to-toe right there. Breidenbach takes that shot, single leg. Shot after Mendez's left leg, and Mendez is touching and going, and he's moving, and he's pounding the head, and he's circling a lot, making it hard for Breidenbach to take a shot. But there he goes. He's in on it. Gets a nice double leg. Takes him down. Mendez is down 2-0. Breidenbach's got a leg in. Got his left leg in, and Mendez is on his hip. Breidenbach reaches across for that crossface. looking to Turk him across. He's able to get it. Now he's working to try to get that power half. A lot of guys power half out of that leg situation, and this is no exception here.
Mendez, forget he's just a freshman.
Sophomore. But
Sophomore?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though. He's tough, I'll tell you. And he got out of that. He got out of the legs. They're within a yard of the edge of the mat, though. And, that's a situation right there where I bet Mendez wish he could get out of bounds. And, sometimes when you're there, you got to do like Valley does and make it look good. But instead, he goes for the reversal, gets chin whipped right to his back. He had it. But that was one of those things where he didn't quite know where he was at, didn't have the experience to know what was going on. And Breidenbach gets a roll-through tilt, a lot like Tyler Ferricini used to do, and picks up 3 back points, I believe. Yep, so now Mendez is down 5-0. Works to his feet, cuts away, gets the point. He's back in on a shot. Breidenbach gets a front headlock and stops him, goes into another sort of a chin whip, sort of a look, and picks up the takedown. And now Mendez is down 7-1.
As we go to the second period.
So Brush is up in the duel 18-0. 132 pounds. Mendez is losing 1-7, and he chooses top. He chooses top, and that just goes to show how confident they are with his ability to turn people on top.
He's a goer. You watch him in the room, and if he can turn that on and out here in front of the crowd, he's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
So Breidenbach goes for a stand-up. Mendez goes to try to return him to the mat, but he gets his head stuffed to the outside. From the feet, it's a similar position that Brush has been in a couple of times tonight where kids just sort of went into a switch position on their feet. Breidenbach's got the leg in. He's got him on his back. Minute 26 left in the second period. Gave up 3 back points. He's down 9-1 right now. Lost his headgear. Bill Ernst, the referee, throws it off the match. Awards Breidenbach 3 points, and now Mendez is down 12-1. Breidenbach hits him with a pretty tough crossface there with his right hand. He hits him again. Mendez ducks out of it. Ernst stops the match and gives him a chance to put his headgear back on. So Mendez is putting his headgear on. Breidenbach's looking over to the Sterling bench, and Coach Chad Duncan's just telling him to keep doing the same thing you've been doing. So Mendez goes ahead. He's getting set. He's down in his position. Hands are flat on the mat. Knees behind the line. Breidenbach jumps on top here on the right side, which is the correct side, the left side. And he goes into that cross arm, looking for a chance to go into sort of a pick and step. But Mendez is doing a really good job of getting hand control. He's pushing him away, gets his hand out to the outside, and he's in on that single. Mendez might get the reversal here, and he does. 12-3. Nice job by Mendez. Holy cow, that was some good action on the bottom. Breidenbach gets back to his feet. Mendez drops down to a knee, but he lets his head get stuffed to the outside. And he better learn, because Breidenbach's chin whipped him at least twice in this match. He tried to do it again right there. Now he gets him down on the mat. Breidenbach sort of goes into barbed wire. Gets the reversal. Mendez is in trouble. He's on his side. Breidenbach circling around his head. There's back points. It's 14-3. Mendez is fighting off his back. Breidenbach's got that reverse half on him. Mendez fights off his back. He faces him. But Breidenbach's able to get that snake, that monster sort of look. Sort of a front headlock with a cow catcher on the other side. Period ends. He gives 3 more points to Breidenbach. Mendez is down 3-17. So now Breidenbach's going to choose top, because they know they don't want to go down, because that'll be a tech. Doesn't want to go on his feet, because if he takes him down, that'd be a tech. So he's just going to take that top position and try to go for the pin here. Mendez goes for a stand-up. Doesn't work. He's back down to the mat. He's trying to get some hand control there. Breidenbach's on the left side, which is the correct side. Sits out. Breidenbach underhooks him, returns him back to his hands and knees, and Mendez is trying to roll his wrists as Breidenbach tries to get a one-on-one. He pops up high. Breidenbach gets too high. Mendez pops up to try to shake him off the top, but Breidenbach was able to put both legs in. And now he's got him on his back for another 3 count. And now it's up to Mendez just not to give up that pin. Do it for the team. He's got to fight off his back for the team here. And he's not going to be able to. And then he does. So he gives up the 3 back points. It's 20-3. Gives up the tech fall. But he's a team player, you know. He didn't give up out there. That was a good job. This Breidenbach kid's a real physical specimen. But Mendez didn't give up the pin.
It's 18-5 as Wyatt Holdren will pick up 6 more points for the Beat Diggers. As he really only had 2 matches, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, we'll take it. You know,
yeah,
you take what you
Jade
can
Queen
get.
takes on Trayvon Walton. How about that?
Jade Queen.
Walton got that orange and black headgear.
Walton's a real strong-looking Sterling Tiger himself there. Not all that tall, real stocky and physical build. Okay, so Ernst blows the whistle. Trayvon Walton's shucking him around, moving around a lot. He goes for a knee pull. Can't get it because Queen keeps an inside tie. Queen's down on one knee, staying in position. Takes a shot, and Walton blocks him. Now Queen's on his knees, and Walton's working for that front headlock, going for that snake, that cow catcher. As Queen works into him for that single leg, tries to turn it to a double, doesn't get it. Catches Walton on his knees and spins around the back for 2, but now Walton's got his knee, and Queen's a little bit too high. Queen's got the wrong leg in. He's trying to get some back points here. And he does. He gets 2 back points as Walton bellies down. Queen gets a crossface, and he's up by 4-0 score. The 1:04 left in the first period. Now Queen's got a half Nelson. He's out to the side, like spiral half. Walton's up on his hands and on his feet, showing his strength. Queen comes back over here to the left side, puts a leg in. Walton's just kind of sitting there on bottom. He's not moving around too much. He might have exhausted a lot of his technique there in the first minute. So he's kind of hanging out there on bottom. And now Queen's got a leg in. He picks an ankle. He's trying really hard to break this strong wrestler down. And he's got him on his belly. Now Trayvon Walton works back up to his hands and knees. Queen's trying to break him down still. He's still got that leg in. He's got his left leg in. Looks like he's trying to possibly get a cradle. Trayvon Walton reaches up and grabs his head. Tries to pull him under with a cheap headlock. Luckily, Queen rolls through. He stays on top, picks up an armbar. He's got the armbar, but he's on the wrong side. He's got an armbar in the wrist. He jumps side. Now he's on the right side where he needs to be. He's got that armbar in his wrist. He's running around the head, and he's got Walton on his back. Bill Ernst is counting. He's counting, but we ran out of time. Picks up 2 back points, and the period ends. Jade Queen's ahead 6-0.
How about that?
Diggers are up 24-5. Second period. Walton chooses down.
And like we were saying, Chad says got several wrestlers out sick, and a couple of grades, and one with a little injury. So they're way undermanned tonight.
Well, it's that time of year, you know. January gets to be a long month, but like you were saying, you got to get a little bit lucky too. You can't afford to have your guys getting sick right before regionals and stuff. If Sterling's got illness, this is definitely a bad time to wrestle him in a duel, but you don't have a choice, you know. If it's on the schedule, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Now Queen's got an armbar with his right arm. He's got the wrist, and he's running around the head, and he's got Trayvon Walton on his back again. This time, it is tight. Walton got his arm loose, though. He's able to swim through. He's rolling through, and now Queen's got a reverse half. He gets the pin. 1:24 left in the second period. Pins him with a reverse half. Put him on his back with the armbar and a wrist. Walton was able to get his arm free, but Queen alertly jumped back over to the other side. Got a reverse half on him and pinned him. Diggers are up 30-5.
Wow, Wyatt Fowles up next. His sophomore takes on Taylor Devy. Is that how you say that? Devy from Sterling. And they're shaking hands. Wyatt, little double underhook, goes for a knee. We're at 152 pounds. Now going ear to ear. And kind of push over here to the near side. He gives up on that double underhook. Slop drops down to a single legger right at the edge. Foul brings him in, dumps him right to his back, and trying to bear hug him down. He's got Devine on his back, going for the pin, and there it is. Quiet foul, makes short work. 32nd pin over Taylor Devine. Whoa, Jaron Peterson's up next. Transwest Chevrolet Buick, serving northeastern Colorado, now located in Fort Morgan and Sterling. Stop by, take a test drive. A great selection of new and used vehicles, or browse their website at transwestchevroletbuick.com. Drive by there on West Platte and Fort Morgan. Oh my goodness, there's some pretty trucks up there, Dave.
And I can't afford any of them.
Oh, me neither. No, not at all. But I love to look at them from the road. Okay. I got Nick Wellen taking on Dylan Pirelli.
Wellen's keeping his back in the middle. Neither one of them's really attacking too much, but I know Nick Wellen, he likes to run that on his feet. He likes to do that little arm drag to a double leg, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get some hand control, and here he controls that elbow, goes into a Russian tie. Nothing happens. Pirelli works his way to the edge, and Wellen does a good job of going back to the middle and waiting for him to come back in the middle of the mat. There he goes for that arm drag. It's not there. Tries it again. It's not there. Doing a good job of hand fighting.
Pirelli's a senior for the Tigers.
Oh, Wellen's in on a nice deep shot. He gets a double leg down around the ankles. He comes out the back door. He's in between the legs. He comes out the back door. Pirelli's holding on to his ankle. Wellen's doing a good job. He's got his arm around the waist, but he's in a difficult position with that leg. So he's going to have to be careful here. He's able to get his feet back down to the mat, and now they're in a single leg position. Pirelli's got a crossface, though, and Wellen's not going to be able to hold on to it. Pirelli just muscles him to the mat. There's no takedown yet. They're still facing each other. But Pirelli's still got a barbed wire look going, and they go out of bounds for nothing. So Wellen does a good job of fighting that off.
A lot of action there, but he figures up 42-5 on the team side.
I'll tell you what, Wellen was in deep on that double. He just had his head in between, and he got his head up high like you have to when you're in that funk position. But Pirelli did a good job of controlling his ankle, and I'm glad they didn't stay there long, because that isn't where I'd want my knee to be if I was in Wellen's position.
No. Got a senior going against a freshman, and Wellen's a freshman.
Yep, so Wellen's going for that Russian. Nothing materializes out of it. There's 12 seconds left in the match. Wellen's back's in the middle. He's controlling the elbow. Pirelli ties the head. Wellen shoots a high crotch. Now he's going for a fireman's carry. They're facing. He's got to be careful not to give up a takedown off of his good shot, and he doesn't. Shot a nice high C, tried to turn it into a fireman's. It wasn't there, so the period ends 0-0. And it's Wellen's choice. He defers. Pirelli chooses down. Okay, he's set. Bill Ernst gives him the nod, tells Wellen to get set. Loads on the right side. Jump sides, tries to go for a arm and an elbow, but he can't quite secure it. Now he's down on a single leg as Pirelli faced him. Wellen's going to have to be really careful. Pirelli's going for a sort of a cow catcher here. Uh-oh, he's got it. He's got his elbow. He just got his one-point escape, but Wellen did a good job. Gets his palm up, elbow down. He creates space, gets away from him. Now they're on their feet facing each other in the middle with Pirelli up 1-0. Still hand fighting. Pirelli ties his head. Wellen turns it into a Russian, but he can't hold on to it. Pirelli ties his head again. Wellen goes back into that Russian. This time he's got a good hold on it, and he's circling to the left. Looks like he's trying to get that leg, but it's not there, and he ends up giving up the Russian again. They're still on their feet, and Wellen backs back to the center. Wellen's got the Russian again. He takes a shot, but it's a bad shot. A little bit extended. Pirelli spins around behind him for one. There's 1 minute left in the second period, and Pirelli's up 3-0 with an escape and a takedown. Now he's got that ball and chain. Now he's got the ball and chain in a half. Wellen went to his back, but they're out of bounds. Good thing, too, because it was a deep half.
There's a lot of strength to throw Wellen around like that.
Man, he picked him up and threw him right on his back. These Sterling kids are always strong. Ernst blows the whistle. Wellen tries to stand up. It's not there. Goes back down to the mat, but he gives up a wrist and an elbow. And now Pirelli, it looks like he's thinking about maybe going to a cradle or something, but it's not there. And they get to the edge, and Wellen goes out of bounds. Pirelli follows him, and they have to go back to the middle. Now Wellen's getting ready to get set. You can tell the crowd's a little burned out from that first duel. You can tell there's not quite as much energy.
Yeah.
There's so many good matches.
A lot of the Valley crowds left too. But
That's good. All right, Wellen gets away, so it's 3-1. Tries to get back to the middle, and Pirelli just comes out and starts putting his hands in his face and pushing on his nose and his eyes and tries to keep Wellen away. Wellen gets he's got that rush in. Almost looked like he's trying to get a key lock. That's illegal, but he didn't. Now Pirelli comes out and smacks him in the face, puts his head in his forehead and Wellen's nose. Wellen passes it, takes a nice shot right on the edge and doesn't get it. Holy cow, he had that single leg. He had that single. He almost had it, but he stepped out of bounds. He couldn't help it. He had to step out to keep his balance. Oh, he took another nice shot, but it was sloppy, and he gave up the 2 points.
oh, come on now, that whistle was blowing before he was there.
That's another
Coach Quinlan
freshman
off.
mistake. Yep.
Got to have a little control. That bouncing across the back, I don't think's a takedown.
I agree with you.
Sometimes,
I do agree. But he's got to know how much time's left. You don't dive on your belly with 1 second left. But that's what freshmen do. They make you pull your hair out.
Yeah.
They wrestle their butts off out there, but they'll make you pull your hair out. So Wellen chooses down. It's the third period. Minute and 48 seconds left, and he's losing 5-1. They're on the edge of the mat, standing up, and they go out of bounds. Now so back to the middle. Wellen, I'll tell you what, he gives it all, doesn't he? He doesn't slow down. When they blow the whistle, he goes the whole time.
Yeah, Pirelli's huffing and puffing out there.
Tell you what, these Diggers are in good shape. Coach has done a good job making sure they're match ready.
Well, they've been doing two-a-days for a long time. They just come in and work in the mornings. Of course, you know how that goes.
I hated that.
Did you?
Yeah, even as a coach, I didn't like it. But that makes you feel good going into regionals and state because you're not doing it anymore. And then all of a sudden your body's like, I got a lot more energy. It's kind of a mental lift. So that's the reason behind it. It sure does work. So he's got a cross face. Wellen busts it off. He faces him, gets back to his feet. He's down 5-2. Losing because he gave up a couple of shots. Took a couple of bad shots. Otherwise it'd be 2-1 Wellen right now if it wasn't for those bad shots.
Right. One of them 5-point moves.
Well,
4-point one would work.
Yeah, let's see if Wellen's got one here. He's controlling that arm. There it is. Arm drag to a shot. Pirelli was able to circle away from it, though. He's got Wellen. Wellen takes another shot, but he kind of dives. He's got his head in between. He crawls up behind. But we've been in this position a lot tonight. We haven't been able to finish it. Wellen needs to pull him back to the middle of the mat so he gets his 2. There it is. 2 points.
Nice job.
Beautiful.
Kept those toes in.
Yeah, he had that single leg, and he just went into that dump action. He got the takedown, so he's down 4-5. Coach Quinlan's telling him he only got 17 seconds, so they go ahead and go back to their feet. They cut him and give him the 1. Wellen's in on a shot. He's down 6-4. He's got to finish this. They're on the edge of the mat. Wellen pulls him back to the middle, and he can't quite finish it. Now there's 7 seconds left. He had the single. Needed to run that dump again, and he just couldn't quite do it. He hustles back to the middle. 5 seconds. He dives, takes a shot. He's extended. Pirelli's blocking with his arm. He's blocking his legs. No time left. Hey, he loses 6-4, but it was a good match.
It is. Burrell's going to have to watch him at regionals.
Yep, Wellen didn't give that one to, or what? He didn't necessarily earn that. Wellen gave it to him, but what Wellen really gave him was a lot of effort that whole match. And that's a lot of times you lose the match early in the season, but that guy knows you're nipping at his heels, and it makes him kind of nervous going into the postseason.
And another one of our rookies, Thomas Medlin, who's a sophomore. That's the last year, going against Tate Green.
£182. Medlin's got an underhook.
We've got some guys having to drink and gain a little weight to be on the team. So I think they said there was 14 14 of them weighed about 145 at the start of the year. And there's Welland in on a shot.
Metlin.
Or Metlin, excuse me. And he's got a leg hooked, getting a hard crossface and gets dumped over for the takedown by Tate Green.
Well, it's tough when you get taken down off your own great shot.
Yeah.
Again, one of those situations where maybe couldn't believe he was in there so deep.
But, trying to fight off a little, kind of like a bow and arrow look, but now Green gets an arm bar in there with the other arm and rolls Metlandy's back. Now he's got him in a headlock going for the pin. 58 seconds left and counting in the first period. Metland trying to fight off his back. And I'm pretty sure he's the little guy out there. Metland got a leg out there, but now he's down for the pin. So Tate Green will pick up another 6 points for the Tigers. When it comes 1:15 into the match.
Brush is winning the duel 42-14 as Fuentes takes the mat for Brush.
Okay, it could be tied in matches to see how Josiah Fuentes does against Drew Book, excuse me. He's a freshman, and Fuentes, I think this is his first year, and he's sophomore. Go ahead, Dave.
Well, Fuentes is wrestling. He has a lot of energy and he wrestled with a lot of heart. A little bit of a size difference. Fuentes is shorter. Book's going for an ankle pick. He snaps his head with his right hand, reaches down with his left hand, and tries to get that ankle pick. He goes into that Prescott, that little throw by, and he gets the 2 points right there on the edge of the mat in front of the Digger bench. Picks his ankle, picks Fuentes' ankle. Has to go back behind him again. Looked like he wanted to go into a barbed wire. It wasn't there. Now he's got a head lever, but Fuentes is out of bounds. Ernst blows the whistle, and they got to go back to the middle. Brooks looks like he might have a little bit of a bloody nose, but he's not going to worry about it. He pulls the sleeve up on his knee and gets in position. Whistle blows. Fuentes tries to get to his feet, but he gets returned to the mat. Now Book's got a half Nelson. Fuentes is going to have to get his head up and look away. He's able to peel that off. He's flat on his belly in the middle of the mat. Uh-oh, there's another half. This one's deep. Book's got a wrist and a half. He's kind of got him in a stack sort of a position. Just kind of laying on his head. Gives up 3 back points. He's down 5-0. Fuentes has got to get some hand control there on the bottom as he works back up to his hands and knees. Book's got a one-on-one on this near side. Looks like he's trying to work into that ball and chain a little bit. There he does. He's got that ball and chain. There's that half again. Uh-oh. He's got a deep half. Fuentes is on his back. He's fighting. Book turns it into a more of a headlock out in front. And there's the pin. 22.8 seconds left in the first period. Fuentes gives up the pin, but it wasn't out of a lack of effort. He was really getting out there, and he was going after him. Just needs a little bit more mat time.
Okay, and that wraps up the duel. Wrestlers are. We got to wait to see if anybody else comes out at.
And there'll be no wrestler in this category for the Beat Digger.
No wrestlers at 220 or 285. And I think we got a 106-pounder coming out. And that's Jeremiah
And that's our match for this evening.
De Leon, and he'll pick up another 6 points for the Tigers to make it 42-26. Oh boy, that was fun. 3-3 in the matches. But Beat Diggers come out on top because they had them outnumbered.
Yep. But you know what? The Diggers wrestled good. A young team. Sterling has a little bit of a young team too, but like you said, they weren't able to bring all their guns down. But just a good night for the Diggers. Holy cow, against Valley. That was just a fun and exciting duel. I'd watch that again over and over.
That is.
I'd love to watch that foul match one more time.
Yeah, great tune-up, and I'm not sure who we're going to meet in this Patriot League crossover duel.
We'll know on Sunday, I suppose.
Is it Sunday when they figure that out?
Yeah, I would guess.
Probably goes by the records in the
in the
split Patriot League.
Yeah,
we could end up against Wiggins or something. Probably not.
Nah, probably not Wiggins.
They don't have very good dual teams, so. But I think that's how they
Well, how do you like that new mat we're sporting out there? Did you see that? Dollamure, it's got those kinks in it, rolls up really easy.
Oh, really?
The Brush Wrestling Club bought that for
I was
us.
going to say, I thought the school was broke, and now that's nice. That Brush Wrestling Club's kind of.
Yep. Well, you're one of the
Sweet
guys
deal.
that got that thing started, so thanks to you,
Well,
they're able to do that cool stuff for this wrestling team. Look at
it
that.
is.
You can roll it up. One person can roll the whole thing up and haul it in the wrestling room.
wow.
Don't have to worry about a lot of
About-
those injuries. Or
That's
anything
6
anymore.
or 8 pieces, it looks like.
7 pieces.
7 pieces.
Yep. But this is just like what they wrestle on at the state tournament.
Yeah.
Just boy, that's nice. They
And
take
it's,
care of it. It'll last a lot of years.
Yeah. While you're talking about Brush Wrestling Club, you got some news for us? What's going on with them?
Well, we just finished our Metro season almost. This weekend's the JV tournament. That's a tournament for our kids that didn't qualify for the Metro Championships. The Metro Championships are on Super Bowl Sunday, so that's kind of a little bit tough. But we have 21 guys, and gonna have a good time.
Hey, Bill. Nobody hollered at you too much tonight, but I think they were trying to help.
I need an earpiece. Your broadcast.
I'd help you out.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, Bill.
Yeah. Dave's talking with Bill a little bit. While he does that, let's run back down the duel. He started with Caleb Cox at 113, and he got a come from behind pin over Zach Loft. That came at 3:16 of the match. Then Colin Cole at 120 got a forfeit win, as did Oswaldo Nunez at 126. And in a wild match, Ricky Mendez, sophomore for the Beat Diggers, going against senior Jacob Breidenbach, and it was a tech fall for Breidenbach, 18-5 in a wild match, a lot of scores. Wyatt Holdren picked up a forfeit win at 138. And at 145, Jade Quing got a pin over Trayvon Walton at 2:36 of their match. At 152, Wyatt Fowl, a 32nd pin over Taylor Devine. Jaron Peterson picked up a forfeit win at 160. Then Nick Wellen went against senior Dylan Pirelli, and it was Pirelli winning that one 6-4. 182, Thomas Metlin, the sophomore for the Beat Diggers, lost to Tate Green from Sterling by a fall at 115. And Josiah Fuentes went against Drew Book, and he's a freshman for Sterling, and Josiah lost by a fall at 137 of their match.
I love you.
And in the last points were scored by Jeremiah De Leon, as Beat Diggers 106-pounder wasn't here tonight. So Sterling picked up 6 points there to make it 42-26. Beat Diggers win the duel on the point side, too. Oh, hi, Coach.
Hey.
You look pretty good in them ear sets.
Thanks.
The team's coming together.
Yeah, we're getting there.
That was a lot of fun up top of the Rockies. And
Yep. Tough tournament up there.
kids may not have took a lot of medals home, but they got a lot of experience.
Yes, absolutely. You know, we had 7 guys left on Saturday. That may be pretty close to, you know, the most we've ever kept in the tournament on Saturday. And then, you know, we ran into a bunch of 5A state champs and, you know, even some guys ranked in the top of the country. And our kids were right there. They battled really close matches, but, you know, we just couldn't finish it on our feet. And, you know, we get a couple more takedowns there, and we'll have a lot more guys placing. So, you know, it's good to know that our kids are right there. And good to know, you know, where we need to improve. You know, if you go out there and get stuck in 30 seconds, you're kind of at a loss. But, you know, our kids are battling and, you know, 1-2 point matches, you know, at the end of the third period with the top kids in the state. So we just need to make sure we're working on finishing our shots.
Okay, before we get to this, I was trying to figure out who are we going to wrestle next week, you know?
I am not sure. I'll know as soon as I see some results from Platte Valley Eaton duel. We'll wrestle the loser of the Platte Valley and Eaton duel.
Okay.
So it'll be the second place crossover match. So it'd be for like third place in the Patriot League. So
Cool. So do we travel or stay home?
we are home. We are home next
Cool.
week. Yep, at home next week at 6:30.
6:30 on February 2nd, so mark that on your calendars as we'll have the Beat Diggers Patriot League crossover duel, they call it. So it's a nice way to finish off the regular season.
Yes, absolutely. And that night, actually, we're also going to be doing a Beat Digger alumni event. So if you're past state champ or state placer or a member of the 2007 state championship team, we're hoping to get as many of those guys back as possible. Hopefully we wrestle Platte Valley, so Cody Cole can be here for that, and we'll get the guys out and have them come down and see these guys wrestling and introduce all the state placers and state champs from the past, and just kind of keep them in the loop.
Yeah, that'd be great. I got a book here full of state champions. I'm a little behind, but there's a big book on Beat Diggers.
Oh,
there.
yes, sir. Yep, 38 of them.
That's pretty amazing. There's a lot of schools would love to have that.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're one of them.
Yep.
See you down the road. Take care.
See ya. Bill Ernst taking off. So as Dave's also took off here too. So he's got the big principal job going.
Yeah.
Oh man, this kind of duel will wear you out a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. The Valley's always a tough team, and it's always really emotional duel with them. We're always battling for one of the top teams in the state, and that's always tough matches. The kids are always goers, and it seems to always be really close.
It seemed like you did a pretty good job keeping them in the middle of the mat.
Yeah, that's something we got to do with them. They always like to kind of get out there towards the edge, and keep us from scoring. Tactic works pretty well, so we got to make sure we're wrestling in the center where we can finish our shots and get our two. If not, we're just wasting energy out there fighting them on the edge.
Right, give up 6 points at 106, but then Caleb Cox come back in a tough match with Noah Damien.
Yeah, Caleb's a little out of shape. He's only had about 5 practices or so since December 10th. So, last weekend was pretty rough on him, and this weekend he's still trying to get back into shape, get better. As he gets into shape, he'll start looking like, Caleb of last year and be right there in the hunt of it for a state title.
And then Colin Cole was ahead against Javier Gonzalez and then lost at 12-8.
Yeah, we just kid got some pretty good elbow control on us and hit a couple nice little firemen's, and if we stop that, we're coming out on top of that match, and we get elbow control, we're taking our shots, finish them in the center of the mat, and that's a completely different match, I think, at regionals.
And a good match for Oswaldo Nunez. He puts away Vince Dempsey.
Yep. Oswaldo's a worker. He's gonna go out there and put you on your back, and if you're not working hard, he's gonna finish it. So it's always good to have him in the lineup and have his aggressiveness and have him finishing matches for us.
Okay, Ricky Mendez, a little tough match there.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Number 1 guy in Brandon Damien.
Yep, and Ricky's one of those kids, he's in one of the tougher weights in the state, especially with our schedule. He's always running into kids like that, and he's just got to make sure he's moving his feet and taking his shots and setting them up. If not, he gets in trouble sometimes. But hopefully we'll get our feet moving and see how we do next week, and get him on the stand up there at regionals.
And Wyatt Holder, that was a huge win against Riley Snyder.
Absolutely.
He just shows you that grit and desire you can't teach.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the kids that, all our kids are always working hard. And, we got to make sure we get pins like that and big duels like that. We got to make sure we're scoring those points.
And Jade Queen going against number 1 ranked Aaron Trujillo. I think he was 1 or 2 time state champ. And
yeah, Aaron's a really tough kid, and Jade needs to make sure he's in a good position on top. Sometimes he gets a little ahead of himself and a little excited and gets out to the side, gets off onto the mat. So he's got to make sure he's staying on top and good pressure, making sure we're working to score our back points.
And Wyatt Fowl, that was a tough loss because he should have. I thought he had the 3-point near fall to win the thing.
Yeah, it was pretty close. I was talking to Ernst, the ref, there after the match. Asking him if he ever got to a 4 count. And he said he never got to a 4 count, so weren't quite there. We get to 5 to get our 3. But, you know, we got to make sure we're stopping that shin whizzer. You know, he's hit us with that a couple times. We went over some things in the room we thought were going to work, and he kind of hit it a different way where our defense for that wasn't going to stop it. So we got to make sure, you know, Wyatt did a good job eliminating his ankle picks, you know, kind of neutralized him on his feet until he hit that little shin whizzer there at the end. You know, then he went for the headlock in overtime, and I mean, it was there. The kid was hanging his head. I think he might have been baiting him a little. Wyatt hit him in it twice down in Florence. So we know that's a move we can hit against him, and we need to make sure we can finish some shots on our feet also.
And Jared Peterson got a big pin over Camacho.
Yep. You know, that's one of those other matches we got to make sure we're getting 6 on every time in these duels like that. So that's good for us.
And Nick Wellen, forget he's a freshman the way he wrestles out.
Yeah, Nick is. Nick definitely don't look like a freshman out there, especially at 70s. You know, he's giving up probably 5-10 pounds every time. And he's doing a lot of great things for us. He's moving his feet well, you know, and he's an extremely strong kid for a freshman, so that keeps him in a lot of those matches. He's getting good wrist control, good elbow control on some shots. You just need to make sure he's finishing them. When he starts finishing those shots, he's gonna make some noise for us, you know. Hopefully he starts putting that together right around regionals.
Sounds good. Then Thomas Metlin and Josiah Fuentes pick up forfeit wins.
Yep.
And they kind of snuck the Garcia kid in there at 220.
Yeah, that's tough not having a kid weighing 220. You know, that's some points we need to make sure we're scoring in duels.
Because I don't think they had him listed on the roster, but then give up a forfeit at heavyweight too.
Mm-hmm.
But ended up Valley winning by 10 points, and that's kind of the way it was. Throw out all the forfeits and everything, he still won by 10 points.
Yeah, we just got to make sure we're not giving up 6 and making sure, you know, we're getting majors and techs as often as we can, rack them points up and, you know, close that thing down.
Yeah, those pins are huge, really tough to overcome.
Yes, absolutely.
Tight duel. And Caleb kicked it off with a pin in his match.
Yeah.
He was behind, and all of a sudden we went going against Sterling. I jumped Sterling, folks. Sorry. Pete Diggers against Chad Duncan and his Sterling Tigers, but Caleb kicked it off at 113, 316 pin over Zach Loft.
Yeah, you know, Zach Loft's a pretty tough kid. He's always strong. He's always going to be a good position. So, you know, he got the takedown, and we, you know, worked, and you know, Caleb's shape kind of hurt us there a little bit too, you know, but he's going to get back in the mix of things, and you know, luckily he's a very knowledgeable wrestler, and you know, I've never seen him hit a sledle before, but he hit it and, you know, secured the fall for us, so that was big.
Yeah, he's got a lot of things he's learned over the years.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
It's got in his bag.
Yep.
And Colin and Oswaldo at 120, 126 picked up forfeits. Ricky Mendez, tough night for him. He's going against Jacob Breidenbach.
Yeah, you know, that's like I said. You know, Ricky's always wrestling the state place or a state champ for us. So he keeps his head up and he keeps working. You know, he's going to start closing the gap matches and getting close to beating those kids.
Wyatt Holdren with the forfeit win. Jade Queen, that 236 pin over Trayvon Walton.
Yep, you know, that was a good match for Jade. He kind of got out of position a little bit on top, but he worked his hips back up and, you know, secured the fall. So that's good. That's good for him to be able to see that once, you know, he does get out of position, he can get back in and still win the match.
Yeah, so Wyatt Fowl got a 30-second pin over Taylor Devine. That kind of shows why he's that number 2 ranked kid.
Yeah, you know, Wyatt, he was a little upset with himself, you know, the way that Whaley match turned out. So, you know, any kid goes out there and shows any weak spot, Wyatt's definitely going to expose it, and, you know, he did there.
Jaron picked up a forfeit, and Nick Wellen, that's kind of senior against a freshman. As Nick lost that one 6-4, but he was coming back in that match and almost.
Yeah, and that's, you know, Nick battles all the way through. He's always going to battle for us. You know, we kind of slowed down there a little bit at the end of the second, and the kid got the reversal on us for 2. So that kind of made the difference in the match. You know, if Nick doesn't give that up there at the end and keeps wrestling, you know, that takedown at the end, you know, wins it for us instead of you know, us still being down.
Thomas Metlin gets pinned by Tate Green. He just kind of got overpowered. He's giving up a lot of size.
Yeah, he is. He's giving up a lot of size. He's he doesn't have a lot of years of wrestling on him. But he's been there battling with those kids every day. So, those matches are going to start turning our way here pretty soon.
And Josiah Fuentes drew a tough freshman and drew a book. He's pretty well put together for a freshman.
Yes, he is, absolutely. And Josiah, he was doing a good job there on bottom, keeping his hands in front, keeping his head up, and kind of went over to his hip for a minute and reached back. And, you cannot reach back on bottom. And, he reached back, and that kid sunk that half in, and Josiah was already halfway over for him. So, we can't be making mistakes like that.
Yeah. No wrestlers at 220, 285, and no wrestler for the Beat Diggers at 106. And Sterling picked up 6 points there.
Yeah.
And you win that one 42-26.
Yep.
So that sets us up for next week, right? You don't have anything going this weekend, man?
No, we're off this weekend. Just a little practice, trying to make sure we're in tip-top shape and, cleaning things up on our feet. Here these last couple of weeks in February, we got to make sure we're winning the match on our feet. You control the match on your feet, and you're going to win the match. You're going to be in a good position to win it.
It is. And I want to remind everybody this is 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com, Brush, Fort Morgan. So we a little past the top of the hour, but it's still just right about 8 o'clock.
Yep.
You still get a little sleep tonight.
Yep, absolutely.
Coaches really sleep. You're thinking of everything every night.
Yep. Go home tonight, dissect this film and see what we got to clean up. And we'll get right on that tomorrow. Get the kids in here again on Saturday, get them another day of practice in, start cleaning all these things up and get ready for February.
Sounds good. Anything you'd like to add?
No, just be nice to see as many people as we can here next weekend on the 2nd for that 6:30 duel.
Can we call it Old Timers Night?
Not yet.
Oh,
not
okay.
yet. Not yet. There's some of us that aren't ready to go to the Old Timer yet. So anniversary of our 10-year state championship. So hopefully get as many state champs and state places as we can back here and have them watch some good digger wrestling.
That'd be awesome. So if you're listening in and you're an old Beat Digger wrestler, get a hold of all the guys and let them know. And check out Beat Digger Wrestling on Facebook. You do a great job with that.
Thank you.
And are you still doing your filming thing? And
we haven't been doing live here lately. We haven't had very good Wi-Fi to get that going. So, come down here and watch us.
That's better anyway.
Yep.
This is a great night. I couldn't get my breast several times. It was just exciting. Great duel.
Absolutely.
Well,
Exciting
both
matches.
duels was really good.
Yep.
Next week will even be better, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Aaron.
Okay, thanks for everything, Rob.
Doing a good job.
Thank you.
Having a lot of fun watching. So.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. Take care now. Okay, Aaron Quinlan, head coach for the Beat Diggers, and the Diggers are looking good, doing a great job. How about that? Let's take 2 minutes on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Okay, welcome back. And I don't want to forget our JV matches. We had Wiesman with a victory over Valley. That was over Matthew Treat, 7-5. And then at 132, Bryce Thomas picked up a pin at 18.5 over Joe Casillo. And Hunter Ludgate with a pin at 439 over Cesar Perez. So three more victories by the Beat Diggers. That's on the JV side. So then we went to Valley. Beat Diggers lose the duel 39-29 to the Valley Vikings. Valley Vikings ranked number 2 in the state this week by On the Mat rankings. And then, of course, against Chad Duncan and the Sterling Tigers, Coach Quinlan and the gang end up 42-26 over the Sterling Tigers. So I want to thank Tristan for running the board and all our great sponsors. It's just awesome what you do. I'll try to read a lot more things next time, but we made it through this double duel, and we'll be back here next Thursday night at 6:30 for the Patriot League crossover duel, which could be Eaton or Platte Valley. So either one of them, they both got great teams, and it'll be wild and woolly. And get all those old timers out here, or anybody that's on the wall here. They want to honor you at the duel next Thursday night, and it'll be here on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Okay, Beat Diggers lose the Doodle Valley, but win the one over Sterling. So we'll say, I want to thank Dave Urich, of course, for helping out here. He's great. I just love to sit here and listen to him. He knows all the moves and some I've never heard of before, so we all learn. It's great to have him there too. So, and a great job by the kids. So thanks, Tristan, and all our sponsors. Will say good night from Brush. Beat Diggers, lose to Valley, and beat Sterling Tigers. Good night.